How can you find fantasy football sleepers using advanced metrics? Imagine uncovering hidden gems in your fantasy draft that can turn your team into a champion. That's what using advanced metrics can do for you. Instead of just guessing, you relying on data that shows real potential. Start with yards per route run. This measures how efficient a receiver is by dividing their total receiving yards by the number of routes they run. If a receiver has a high yards per route run, it means they make the most of their chances, even if they don't get many targets. This can point to players who are undervalued but have big play upside. Next, look at expected fantasy points. This is a projection based on how often a player is targeted, their usage, and past performance. If a player's actual fantasy points are lower than their expected points, it suggests they are underperforming and could bounce back. These players are often sleepers because they have room for positive regression. Another useful metric is explosive rush or pass percentage. This tracks how often a player's runs or receptions result in gains of 10 or more yards rushing or 20 or more yards receiving. Players with high explosive rates can win you matchups with big plays, making them prime sleeper targets. Then there's neutral situation pace. This measures how fast a team runs plays in close games. Faster-paced teams give their players more opportunities to produce stats. If a player is on a team with a high pace, they might be a sleeper because they can rack up more touches and yards as the season goes on. More specialized stats include average separation score and playing time-adjusted separation score. These show how well a receiver creates space from defenders. If a receiver has a high separation score but isn't producing much now, they could be a sleeper if their role is set to grow. Yards after catch over expected is another key metric. It shows how many yards a player gains after catching the ball compared to what's expected. Players excelling here are dynamic playmakers who might not have big numbers now but could explode with more opportunities. To put it into practice, look for players with high efficiency metrics like yards per route run and expected fantasy points but low current production. These are players likely to improve. Focus on those with strong separation scores who might be limited by quarterback issues or target competition. Find players with high explosive play rates and yards after catch over expected because they have big play potential. Always consider the offensive context. A player on a fast-paced team with a new role or improved situation could be a sleeper. Use these advanced metrics along with traditional scouting and news about injuries or depth chart changes. That way, you can spot sleepers before they become popular. For example, a young wide receiver who averages a high target depth and leads in yards after catch over expected but has limited catches might be a sleeper if his team's offense improves or his role expands. Combining efficiency, opportunity, and playmaking metrics with team context helps you find sleepers with big upside at a lower draft cost. This approach moves beyond basic stats and uses data to give you an edge in your draft.